Hopefully someday I can play for Stormzy too. If you're watching this, Stormzy. My name is Tian, I'm 17, I'm from London and I play the trumpet. The first time I started playing music was in this photo. You can see I'm playing the piano with my brother, and I was just testing out this instrument I saw in front of me, not really understanding what I was creating, but having fun with it, experimenting with it anyways. So my brother briefly played the trombone and I wanted to play a big, bold brass instrument just like him. So that's why I picked out the trumpet. Not many girls gravitate towards brass instruments. You can be a girl and play a brass instrument, like those things are not disparate ideas. I hope I can inspire younger girls to play the trumpet so that they grow up and they continue to play to a high standard, and then they encourage other young girls to play brass instruments so that we continue growing as a family. I am very into lo-fi beats. It probably stemmed when my workload increased and also coupled with lockdown because I was just by myself so much. And lo-fi beats, first of all, if you search it up onto YouTube, like 3-hour-long playlists come up, and that is perfect because I just have so much time by myself. Like, that is a great way to immerse myself in music. I went through a Stormzy phase, I still do quite like Stormzy, and I did buy tickets for Stormzy's concert, but because of lockdown, that's been cancelled. So, alas, it is what it is. Hopefully in the future. There was a girl at NYO who had played the percussion for Stormzy and then got in like Adidas shoes, signed by Stormzy in invisible ink. And I thought that was just so sick. So, hopefully someday I can play for Stormzy too. If you're watching this, Stormzy. Aside from music, another big passion of mine is the environment. I really felt like I need to do something about this, so I joined my school's eco committee as a first step. And then I started doing this discussion group with a friend, whereby every week we'd talk about a new topic. So we've talked about environmental court cases in the Supreme Court. We've talked about Hollywood films and how they portray climate change. We've also talked about Ruth Bader Ginsburg and how she related to environmental law. While I didn't admit it at the time, I think this is sort of linked to NYO, because in NYO we have this thing called NYO Inspire, where you go to state schools and you go to primary schools and you play to the kids. Fundamentally, I think those are two very similar things, that concept of, learning about something, becoming passionate about something, and then trying to give back to your community. I think another way why the environment is so linked to music for me is because composers have always taken reference from nature, right? Appalachian Spring a little bit, but Alpine Symphony, it's a massive symphony, all to do with mountains and climbing up mountains. So I think the two have a deeper relationship than most people think on the surface, which is why I'm so comfortable having the two in my life, I guess. So I think classical music very much is this stereotype of stodgy, privileged people in nice suits going to some sort of romantic baroque, lovely concert hall. When really, I think it's really evolved from that. And I think that's great because it shows that classical music has a diverse body of people, and that diversity in itself is extremely attractive. And I hope other people can see that, and therefore other people gravitate towards classical music because they see themselves in classical music. There's nothing like playing in the Royal Albert Hall, and just the preparations and the hype that goes into it. It's one of the best experiences. Thank you. Bye.